Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So, Jay, big performance last night by Devin Haney versus Regis Prograis. Devin won that fight in absolute dominant fashion. And now we want to talk a little bit about what potentially is next for Devin Haney. Now, I got to be honest with you, Jay, in my personal opinion, Team Haney feels to be all over the place in regards to what could possibly be next for them. They talked about the possibility of going back down to 135, but then they relinquished all the titles. They talked about going up to 147 pounds. As a matter of fact, we heard Bozy Ennis mention recently that there was a potential fight between he and Gervonta Ennis, and that Bill Haney and Bozy had the opportunity to talk about that fight. I would say that would be an absolute disaster for Devin Haney, regardless of what his performance looked like last night. He would not have those same advantages in the ring against a Gervonta Ennis, so that's something that I think he should absolutely avoid. But I want to play a clip from last night. This was Bill Haney talking, and this is now Bill Haney going yet again in a different direction. So it's hard to pinpoint exactly what Team Haney is trying to do here relative to his career. But let's play this clip here real quick, Jay, and we'll come back and react to it.
The money is Devin and Tank. Tank. And I guarantee you he ain't gonna say Devin's name. Because we ain't got no fight, we available, and you don't want none of him. Calvin, nigga, knock it off, man. You know what I'm saying? Knock it off, Calvin. And what's that other dude name?
Coach Ellis.
Coach Ellis. You don't want none of this shit.
Good job, Bill.
Why don't they want none of it, Bill? Why does Devin win the fight?
So, I'm surprised that Tank name has come up. I'm surprised but not surprised because Tank is the biggest name in boxing in and around that weight class. In and around that weight class, guys. Make sure that you take heed to what I just said. In and around that weight class, because some of you guys will be in the comment section saying that it's Canelo Alvarez and not understanding the statement. Yeah. So I get why they're calling his name out, but what I don't understand is that if you truly have any intention to fight Gervonta Davis, he's not moving up to 140 pounds. He's already stated that. So if that's the case, then are you moving back down to 135? Well, we know Devin can't make 135 anymore. It's evident. I mean, he had to take off his draws just to make 140. So he's not moving back down. So then what? Why? What's the point of the comment? Is I guess where I'm getting a little bit lost. You know what I'm saying? That fight isn't potentially next. And he made some other comments last night, Jay. Maybe you'll touch on those comments that he made last night. I'm not going to play those clips, but just the comments that he's making. I don't know if it's just a situation where, hey man, let me go ahead and tie my name to Gervonta Davis or what. But there's nothing. Again, I like Devin Sharp. He looked good last night. But there's a reason why he was such a favorite. There's a reason why I picked him to win that fight last night. And it was because of the stylistic matchup. Now, he would still have a lot of the advantages that he had over Regis Prograis against Gervonta Davis in regards to reach and things of that nature. But speed, no. Power, no. Skills, no. Because they're comparable in skills and power and speed. Tank is faster. What Devin will have the advantage of is the range and the ability to box from the outside. But if Lomachenko can close distance, so can Gervonta Davis. So that would be an interesting fight. I'd love to see that fight. And I'm not counting Devin out, but let's not pretend like all of a sudden Devin is a cash cow and he's kind of controlling anything to that nature. I mean, he's good performance. I love the way that the Haneys are moving. It makes sense. But they do need to pump their brakes a little bit. Jay, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Bill's just is really just selling the fight and selling his fighter in Devin. I'm not mad at him. He's just being a father. He's being a promoter. For him to say that stuff like, yeah, every fighter that fights him gets their biggest payday, that sounds like a line from Floyd Mayweather. Sounds like a line from, the Money Team and PBC fighters, because that's been true, especially for anyone that fights Tank. So Bill can't use the same line against Tank because Tank is already got millions, over 30 plus million against Ryan, who didn't have a belt. So that's his biggest fight already. That's not what happened with Devin. Devin didn't have the same following as a Ryan Garcia does. Do I think he's a better fighter than Ryan Garcia? Yeah. Did he look great last night against Regis? Yeah. But the continuously saying Tank's name like Bill has done, he's just continually putting it out there. I'm not mad at it, But because I see the play, in hand to try to link your son name with Tank and get some of that wave, that Tank has. So I'm not mad at that at all. But to make it seem like Tank isn't worthy, or he's not the A side, that's just disingenuous because that's totally false. Tank is the A side. The only two people that can be the A side, no matter who they fight, basically, is Tank and Canelo. Those two control everything. They control all the pieces on the chessboard. So if you want to fight them, they have to offer you to fight. You can't dictate to them. You're not gonna dictate anything in that regard. There, I understand probably being tired of it. I know Tank has posted some stuff on Twitter that probably rubbed him the wrong way and whatever. Enjoy this win here. Y'all did a phenomenal performance by Devin. He handled business. He has a lot of options for him. He wants a big money fight. Tank is the biggest fight that he can get. So I think that's why they continuously keep putting it out there. And now they try and be a little disrespectful the way Bill was towards Tank, towards Coach Kenny Ellis, towards Coach Calvin. So he's putting it out there trying to really spark them. Trying to poke the bear to get them to come back at him so he can try to see if they can take the bait. So I mean, it's one thing to go that route. I don't think it's necessary, but they're not the cash cow at 140. He does have options at 140, 147, not so much. I don't think he should go there. I don't think that's the route he should go. I think he should stay at 140 because there's some good big money fights there. Ryan Garcia, that's a big money fight, and you can see how his fight against Ryan Garcia does versus the fight that Ryan Garcia had with Tank. That's a great barometer right there. Then that could set you up for a Tank fight later in 2024, if you run that route. But again, if you're going to fight Tank, it ain't going to be at 140. It's going to be at a weight class that Tank wants to fight at. And that's something Devin has to come to grips with. And I don't think Devin should really drop down below 140 because he, like you said, he struggled to get 140. He had to get down to his draws. He basically damn near had to strip to get down to 140 here. Getting down to 135, but even a catch with a 137, that's not going to be good for Devin. Especially you don't want to go in there handicapped against a Tank Davis. That's destruction.
Yeah, no, I agree. This fight is not happening. Tank is not moving up to 140 pounds. Devin is not even. I'm not even sure if Devin is going to be able to comfortably make 140 pounds yet, considering he had to strip out of his draws in order to make 140. So there's a possibility that Devin will only be at 140 maybe for another fight, maybe two. Because right now Devin looks like a welterweight that's been shrinking down to lightweight to fight. That's what he looks like right now. So, and that's not the reason why he wanted to fight against Regis Prograis. It was that was all skills. He didn't big boy him or anything like that. So we'll end up seeing what happens in regards to this particular fight. I don't think this is something that's going to happen in the near future. But if it does, I would be more than happy to see it. And if Tank would be willing to move up to 140, I'll be more than happy to see it. I think this is a big fight that honestly, this is a big fight that Tank could make. And that we did a video a few weeks ago that Tank is going to have to fight one of these guys in 2024, either Shakur, Devin, or maybe somebody like a Tio. I'm not saying all, but he needs to fight one of those guys to keep up the momentum. Even though he's the cash cow, those are the types of fights that people want to see him in the ring with. They're competitive fights, and I think just with the history of all the sparring talk and all that stuff right there, it just makes for great television. I would love to see that fight, and I think many other fight fans would as well. You guys tell us what you think in the comment section in regards to Bill Haney's comments. Don't forget to hit, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, M Sports Media, and we are out.